Hello and welcome to HW News. The farmers' protest has entered the 8th day now. While the government has agreed to the talks, the farmers have said that they will not clear the borders of the national capital until the government agrees to their demands. Now, the first round of talks between the farmer leaders and the government since the agitation began took place on December 1. However, it remained inconclusive as the farmers refused to accept the government offer of setting up a panel. Today was another round of talks between the farmers and the centre. But along with the talks, there was a meeting between Amit Shah and Punjab Chief Minister Amrinder Singh. Now, why Amrinder Singh met Amit Shah? There are close to 500 farmers' organizations and 2 lakh farmers that are protesting against the centre's farm laws. Majority of them are from Punjab and Haryana. Now, some farmers' organizations from UP have also joined in. While Haryana and Punjab farmers have camped at the Singhu and Tikri border, UP farmers are camped at Chilla border that connects Delhi and Noida. As Amrinder Singh is Chief Minister of Punjab, his meeting with Amit Shah indicates that the government might be trying to understand what are the objections of the Punjab farmers. Amrinder Singh, after the meeting, made an appeal to the Union Home Minister Amit Shah and the protesting farmers to find an early resolution to the impasse over the new farm laws, saying that the agitation is affecting Punjab's economy and the nation's security as well. Amrinder Singh, after meeting Amit Shah at his residence, said that common ground must be found soon and the two sides should not take rigid positions on the matter. The meeting was held simultaneously with the interaction between the agitating farmer leaders and the government at the Vigyan Bhavan in Delhi. The farmers have demanded a special session of the parliament as well to repeal the laws, saying that this is the last chance for the government. The Punjab Chief Minister and his Congress party have been supporting the farmers' stir, and the State Assembly had also passed a set of bills which are aimed at negating the centre's farm legislation. It is also important that we talk about what happened before the meeting began today. In a significant development, the Farmers' Collective shot off a letter to the central government asking it not to indulge in a divisive propaganda. The leaders of the protesting farmers wrote a letter to Union Agricultural Minister Narendra Singh Tomar on Wednesday demanding a special session of the parliament to repeal the new farm laws and also asking the government to not indulge in divisive agenda to break farmers' unity. On December 1, the government held separate talks with the farmers from Punjab and farmers from UP. This meeting, however, remained inconclusive, and the farmer leaders are alleging that the government is plotting instead of finding a solution with them. The farmers had also prepared a 10-page document of objections to agricultural laws. Meanwhile, the meeting between farmer leaders and the government representatives saw very dramatic scenes today. The leaders were offered lunch by the government. However, they refused to accept the food offered by the government and said that they have brought their own food along with them. At the lunch break, these leaders were seen sharing the food they brought with them. Now, let me tell you that the farmers protesting at the borders have already said that they are here for a long haul and thus they have brought with them ration, water and all the basic necessities to survive the weather. They cook their own food at the protest site and also sleep there. The protest has also drawn support from Punjab's entertainment industry, where several artists and sportspersons have expressed their solidarity with the protesting farmers. Yesterday, professional wrestler Khali was spotted at the protest site where he raised the slogans of Jai Jawan and Jai Kisan. Watch this video.
तो सभी लोगों को मैं बेनती करता हूँ कि किसान के साथ खड़े हो, मुंडे से मुंडे लगा के, और ताकि सरकार को मजबूर होना पड़े एक किसान की मांग मानने के लिए। सो ये पंगा मतलब पंजाबियों से और हरियाणियों से बड़ा है, जो बहुत टफ होगा सरकार को निपटना इनसे। अभी सभी लोग ये पूरा जत्था 6 महीने का राशन लेके जा रहे हैं। जब तक किसान की मांग पूरी नहीं होती तब तक वापस नहीं आएगी।
Several politicians today also slammed the centre and asked it to consider the farmers' demands. Ahead of the talks between the farmers and the centre, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi tweeted that accepting anything less than the complete withdrawal of black farm laws would be a betrayal of India and its farmers. His party has been supporting the stir by the farmers. Meanwhile, Bhim Army Chief Chandrasekhar Azad also arrived at the Singhu border to show solidarity with the protesting farmers. Addressing the farmers, he said that if government becomes dictator, then people should come out on the streets. Government should stop shaming this movement. We are here to support our farmers and will stand by them till the end. That is what Chandrasekhar Azad said. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee also expressed concern over farmers' demands, and she also said that the farm laws should be withdrawn. In a series of tweets, Mamata Banerjee said that I am very much concerned about the farmers, their lives and the livelihood. Government of India must withdraw the anti-farmer bills. If they do not do so immediately, we will agitate throughout the state and the country. From the very start, we have been strongly opposing these anti-farmer bills. Now, multiple left organizations, including Students' Federation of India and All India Democratic Women's Association, staged a protest in Mysore Bank Circle of Bangalore to support the protesting farmers. Not only that, expressing his solidarity with the farmers, former Punjab Chief Minister and Akali Dal Chief Prakash Singh Badal returned his Padma Vibhushan today. The 92-year-old senior leader became the first person to return his award in protest against the treatment of the protesting farmers by the central government. The second highest civilian honor of the country that he received from the government in 2015 that he returned. His party Akali Dal was a part of BJP-led NDA until recently, and they were the oldest alliance partners of the BJP. However, Akali Dal parted ways over the disagreement over the new farm laws. He said that he was registering his protest against the government's betrayal of farmers. Let me read out some part of the letter in which he returned his Padma Vibhushan. I write this letter to return the Padma Vibhushan award in protest against the betrayal of the farmers by the government of India and against the shocking indifference and contempt with which the government is treating the ongoing peaceful and democratic agitation against the Farm Acts. When the government of India had brought the ordinances, assurances were given to us that the farmers' apprehension on these ordinances would be addressed to the satisfaction when these would be converted into bills and subsequently into the acts. Accordingly, I even appealed to the farmers to trust the government's word. But I was shocked when the government simply went back on its word. That was the most painful and embarrassing moment in my long political career. I just cannot put in words the emotional stress which I have been going through since then. I have truly begun to wonder why has the government become so heartless, so cynical and so ungrateful towards the farmers. While writing this letter to you, I am conscious that I address myself to the President who presides over the destiny of a country, 70% of whose population are farmers. For 70 years, these farmers have been serving the country as its Annadata with the most selfless and self-effacing humility. I hardly need repeat that the country owes a huge and almost irrepayable debt to its farmers. When the country faced hunger and humiliation in the 60s, having to beg for food in the world capitals, the government turned to the farmers to put it out of starvation. The farmer responded so heartily that in a matter of 3 years, he turned the country from a food begging to a food exporting country. The tide was turned principally by Punjab with Green Revolution, but in the process, he sacrificed the only two natural assets he had, soil fertility and water. Today, however, the same farmer finds himself forced to wage bitter struggles just to secure his fundamental rights to live. The three acts fell as bolts from the blue on the already beleaguered peasantry of the country. Now the spectacle of hundreds of thousands of farmers crying out for justice in one voice in the national capital would have moved any other nation or its government. Tragically, no such sensitivity towards a farmer's pain and anger is visible here. I am sure that as a first citizen of our great country and a conscientious public figure, you would be fully aware and perhaps as deeply concerned about these developments as I have been. Even before these acts were passed, the poor farmers had already been in grip of severe crisis throughout the country. Agriculture was never a lucrative profession in our country as the cost of agricultural inputs had been rising steeply, while there has been just meager hike or no hike on the prices of agricultural produce. But in the recent year, the crisis deepened with farmers unable to meet the rising cost of inputs and were driven to draw unbearable loans just to be able to keep feeding their families. When farm-friendly parties like the Shiromani Akali Dal pleaded for debt relief to farmers in overall national interest, they were mocked. It was cynically suggested that farmers take loans just for ostentatious lifestyle. This cruel cynicism and malice against the farmers did not stop even when thousands of farmers in this country were and are being driven to take their own lives in a phenomenon called farmers' suicide. Isn't it amazing and unjust that lakhs of crores of corporate loans are waived off with just a single thoughtless stroke of the governmental pen? But no one has ever thought of even subsidizing the farm debts or introducing schemes like OTS, or at least of writing off their interest and staggering the principal repayment instead. The country chose to let its Annadata die. Against this background, the black laws now implemented by the government have come as a proverbial last nail in the coffin of the country's Annadata. The farmers are out on the street battling police batons, tear gas shells and water cannons even as their sources of livelihood dry up. They have come to the national capital from all over the country, leaving their fields, crops and even their families and travelled long distances, thousands of kilometers in some cases, to get the attention of their own government. They have shown incredible and unprecedented restraint, maturity and responsibility in keeping their protest totally peaceful and democratic. But conspiracies and vicious propaganda are unleashed to paint these peaceful struggle as anti-national. Throughout my life, I have been engaged in a long and often painful struggles at the head of my party, Shiromani Akali Dal, seeking greater autonomy to states under the genuinely federal structure in the country, as I believe that the states should have the resources to look after their people. In Punjab's case, predominantly the farmers. During the course of these struggles, I have spent long years in jail, probably the longest ever by any political figure in free India. All this while, farmers and the panthic ideals of Sarbat da Bhala, which every farmer lives by, have defined my life, both personal and public. Farmers have been almost a second religious passion for me. Everything I have, everything I take pride in, every public acceptance, glory, or every office of public service that has been bestowed on me during my long public life have been purely because of my commitment to these ideals in which farmers have remained at the center of everything. Thus, when the country honored me with enviable honor of Padma Vibhushan, I knew that it was only in acknowledgement of my commitment to the people, in which the farmers featured most prominently. I owe it to them. But today, when even the survival of the farmers because of whom I am who I am has lost more than his honor, I see no point in holding on to the Padma Vibhushan honor. Accordingly, I have decided to return this honor of Padma Vibhushan in protest against the government's betrayal of the farmers on the 3 acts against which the farmers of my state and country are agitating on the streets in this cold winter. Today, I feel so poor that at this stage of my life, I do not have much else to sacrifice to express solidarity with the farmers' cause. As one who has spent something close to a century amidst the people, especially the farmers of my country, I would request you still to use your good office to get the government to listen to the farmers with love, compassion, understanding, and above all, the respect that they fully deserve. This is perhaps the hour for the country to repay the debt it owes to its farmers. I am deeply pained by the communal insinuation being thrown at the peacefully and democratically protesting farmers. I can assure you that they have secular ethos running in their blood and are the best guarantee for safeguarding the country's secular democratic values and character, which faces serious challenges from some other quarters. As an optimist, I like to hope that you will win the confidence of these farmers as well as strengthen the secular democratic fabric of our great country. Thanks and high regards, yours sincerely, Prakash Singh Badal. A group of top sportsperson and coaches from Punjab have also said that they will return their awards and march to Delhi on December 5 in solidarity with the farmers. Meanwhile, considering farmers' demand, Congress Lok Sabha leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary urged the Speaker of Lok Sabha Om Birla to convene a short winter session of the House to discuss the several issues including the farmers' agitation and preparation of COVID-19 vaccine. In a letter, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, also the West Bengal Congress chief, said that the winter session of the House must be convened with all the COVID-19 protocols in place to help the people understand the important issues the country is facing at present. On the other hand, the farmers have said that today's talks with the government is the last chance. If the government still does not agree, they will intensify the stir from December 5 across the country. Several other farmers' unions from other states have shown their solidarity with the protest. Additionally, not only the farmers' union but also the unions from other sectors have also warned the government. The All India Taxi Union threatened to go on strike if the demands of the farmers protesting against the centre's farm laws at Delhi border points are not met within 2 days. Now, even the All India Motor Transport Congress threatened to stop movement of essential goods across northern India from 8th of December and thereafter to other parts of the country if the government does not allay the farmers' concern regarding the recently passed farm laws. India's largest Truckers and Transport Association President Kultaran Singh Atwal said that they will convene a core committee meeting and decide on shutting the operations from 8th of December, starting with northern India, which includes Delhi, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir. The meeting is still going on between the farmers' leaders and the government. If nothing conclusive comes out, that we hope should come out, but if nothing conclusive comes out even today, then the farmers are expected to intensify their protest. But how far the government will stretch the talks? Should the government agree to the farmers' demand and withdraw the laws, or is there any other option that the government should use? Do let us know what you think in the comment box below. For more news and updates, you can log on to www.hwnews.in. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.
If you like this video, please share it, and we would love to hear your comments in the comments section down here. Also, please do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter to get minute-to-minute news updates. For more such shows and videos, well, subscribe to our YouTube channel.